Master Grade Star Build Strike Gundam. Hey, what's up again, everybody? It's Robert184, 2Rs2Bs, gundam.tk. Happy today to be wrapping up my review of the Master Grade Star Build Strike Gundam. You've already seen the Universe Booster unboxed and all put together, and there's lots of cool gimmicks, tricks, and a lot more fun than I expected with this kit. However, how does he look when he's fully decked out with all those clear parts? Let's see. But now it's time to go all angelic and see if Hero Yui would be proud. When you go over the shoulders here, you don't have to take out the clear red one, but on the back, you're going to be taking these out. So again, keep your Ziploc at hands. But already, just half-winged up, this angel, well, he's no X-Men, but he's looking pretty sharp. But when he's all put together, that is something totally different from what we've seen from Gundams before. Strike Freedom, sure, he's got some blue in between. The high grades did it well. Master Grade Destiny, we've got to see him with all sorts of effect parts in there. Hopefully V2 is going to be doing the same. But what stands out about this guy is that he's all effect parts. There's no white frame, red frame, or something else built into his backpack, except for that white part that's on in the back, and you're not even going to be seeing it. But this is looking very, very cool. You will see the thin parts looking very distinct from the actual plastic parts that are going to be making up the tops of the wings. But if you like a cartoony look and somebody who's going to be standing out in an energon kind of way, if that makes any sense, this guy is going to be the guy to do it. And with Star Build Strike in the regular Strike, although with an Ale Striker pack on his back, that Ale Striker pack is looking very dull in comparison. And the little changes that say added on to this kit are definitely paying off, starting with the blue on the legs. That little part over there, though you don't see the red, you still know it's going to be good, especially rotating. And those crazy shoulders with the big angry white points sticking out, the little yellow details, and these all white parts over the chest, really going to be standing out. And I haven't even brought up those crazy angel wings of light. But I can just imagine somewhere in the world of Gundam Exa, yes, they're going to be reading a book about who wore it better in terms of feathers. Wing Zero Custom here, from Endless Waltz the anime, or the Star Build Strike. The blue, well, they're not going to have that many options, just in terms of getting them drooping all over in some crazy space-bound ways. But at the same time, the clear blue is going to be looking very unique, even compared to this guy. This guy's a pearl finish. But overall, having more throwbacks to these old classics, especially the popular ones, probably never a bad thing in terms of sales. And it was hard to put those shoulder pieces on there, not so much for the booster ones once you get rid of the red pieces, but it is nice, instead of just using the solid wings here, that if you do want to take advantage of those three twists, that you can at least have the wings come forward and sort of droop down. Overall, the effect is pleasing to the eye. Although you might be left lamenting a little bit about its lack of articulation compared to something like Wing Zero. But with the focus on the blue wings, even with the energy gate in the back, it's only going to be adding to the overall effect, but it's definitely going to be those blue wings that dominate your sight lines when you're seeing this guy, especially if they're going to be tilted. But if you want to talk about new play options, remember this gun has that bend up option. And if you want to go and deliver some gasoline from the shield, looks pretty good opened up, I'd say, and here it is, getting ready to be deployed. Didn't spend all that time trying to get the pose to be cool, because I don't know if it's going to be so possible. You could have the gun in the down mode, it looks like, if you're going to be following the instructions properly. But overall, the shield gimmick is going to be looking pretty cheesy when it's combined with this gun. Like I said, I'm inclined just to go back to the original gray one in here, not to mention one of the three original choices. How about you? And now, after I've complained about it, and I'm staring down the barrel through an energy gate, is it going to be even more intimidating? Well, I'd say no, because unfortunately having these four arms all over the place, hidden in the back, you're not going to be seeing them, but if you're trying to look through them at the Gundam, there's going to be a lot lost in translation here. And if you want to go full effect parts here, well, there's a teeny tiny corner in the manual that's going to be showing you that you can take the yellows and combine them with the blues on top of the clear parts. Plug them all in the backpack. It's very finicky getting everything into place just so. And don't forget that those shoulders are going to be falling off non-stop just to make it even more fun. And I'm just really laughing at the amount of pieces. All of the wings have fallen off, just trying to transform it. The chest pieces many times. Finicky, this guy is. And there are a lot of options when you're using these custom attachment points. But when you do get it just right... And finally, that base is going to fit very nicely from the full package inside the Universe Booster to be holding them up. And if you notice some negativity getting those arms on there, it was definitely there, because you know what? This guy has millions of moving parts. You can see that they can attach on the sides there in lots of different ways. Getting the right things in the front, the right things in the back, and everything. Probably took about a good 15 minutes to get this pose, and just when I was about to give up, well, then you actually put him up on display. And this guy, I don't know if the camera's capturing it, just because the scale may not be there for you, but this is just going to be the most eye-catching Gundam I think that you could ever put on your shelf. The only one that springs to mind would be if you went double, triple, quadruple fin funnels on the Master Grade Hainu Katoki. But this guy, because they are clear parts, which the new Gundam does well, but this guy does to the nth degree, they are going to be looking absolutely crazy. The yellow in the back is great. The blue wings, if you tilt them forward, definitely my favorite look there. The Vespers, the cannons are finally up and stretched out. You see some clear parts, especially as they're rotating around. This guy is going to be the talk of the Gundam Divers room whenever they head into Sei and Reiji's era. Yes, I never thought I'd see the day where the full armor Unicorn Gundam is looking restrained in comparison. But no, outside of the clear aspect, if you like the all-clear blue and yellow, you're still going to have a winner here in terms of ridiculousness if you go triple fin funnels on Amuro's Last. So for some final thoughts, with the original Strike, albeit remastered there, as Sei's inspiration in the foreground, well, let's go through some of the positives. First of all, well, you don't have to buy another Strike. You just have to buy the Universe Booster, and all of a sudden you can choose the full package with the build booster, or you can go Universe Wings, Plavsky on the back. The option wings, I really like that. The fact that you've got the triples, or you can go take these solid ones and then just put those on. I've been using the triples the whole time and really enjoy the bending options. Not as much as you'd like, but still way better than nothing. The clear parts, the red on the booster itself, I think the booster looks fantastic. It's the kind of thing you may actually want to display on its own. And the opening shield, I really do like the way that that's going to be looking. And the stand is going to be great, whether you're using it for the gate, in the front, in the back, blasting through it, whatever you want to do, or just getting the booster up in the air. And then, of course, the Build Strike comes with his own to-go aerial wing style, which is exactly as he should. And you know what? The clear arms, I'd say that they move very well, which is great. They move well, it just takes some patience if you want to get some 4 symmetry with all those yellows. But the results are definitely going to be pleasing to the eye. But for the cons, well, it's just a question of how much time it's going to take to get you there. First of all, I'm going to say that the legs, they're hard to get the new parts on to the sides, and besides the clear red, they're going to be hidden in the back. The shoulders, up here, they broke time and time again. They broke on the back, they broke on the front, they broke on the vents, they broke when you put the wings on, they broke when you were trying to reposition the wings. Everything about those shoulders is going to make you curse them. If this was solid and properly built kind of thing, just as its own standalone Gundam, you wouldn't be having those problems. The shield, terrible. One of the worst ideas I've ever seen Bandai do. Have your modeler's knife handy, and if you don't break something, I'm going to be very happy for you, because it's just, they say, well, build it this way in the first place. Well, you release the second, so it doesn't seem to make any sense. A terrible idea, unless you want to go for the hose in the middle. Just keep the original one in. And the rifle, you can swap it off, but I think the original one's better. The slide gimmick, it doesn't really work all that smoothly. It'll get there, but it just feels like it could break along the way. And overall, you've just got to be careful. The shoulder wings, they interfere with the head and the V-fins, which was one of the best features of the Build Strike overall. And here's something I don't complain about all that often, but I've got to say, this manual, this guy's got a million different play options, and they're not laid out in the most intuitive manner or the order. It just seems like this manual could have been done a lot better. And sometimes you're relying on pictures and saying, oh, I saw that in the splash page, where it should be laid out clearly with lots of instructions exactly how to get it there, especially if you're going to be trying to add the yellows on top of the blues. Finally, the big complaint about this guy, he's too finicky. He has almost too many options, too many moving parts, especially when you get involved in that backpack. The shoulders, yeah, it's a great idea that the universe just clamps on. but it doesn't clamp on well, and then it doesn't stay, and then you're fiddling with the wings, and they're all going to fall apart and frustrate you. The only saving grace is that he looks awesome. I don't know how else to put this. One of the craziest looking display pieces you'll ever put out on your shelf. I'm going to treat him like a brick. He's going to sit there with the yellow parts on the back, and I'm never going to move him, and I'm going to be very, very happy. Those clear parts, not going to please traditionalists, but if you want to break the mold and just sort of use your imagination with your Gunpla, Iori taught us well. This kit is going to help you do it, and if you go buy the Universe Booster MG separately and add it onto the original, tons of options. Just makes me excited to see where they'll go from here. HG, yes. PG, who knows? And then, of course, what about the future? Can't wait to find out. So please let me know your thoughts about the booster as itself, and then when it's on for the Star Build Strike. Love to hear your thoughts. Gundam.tk. Don't forget to go vote over there. And, as always, stick around for lots more news, reviews, and everything else you can use. Thank you. Excuse me, sir. I'm finding you to be a bit ostentatious. You'll have to move along, please.